Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Parliament, RDC'S dissolved. All eyes now on GECOM. FIGUIERA did little for the benefit of the PNCR, says AUBREY Norton. AFC pledges education reform to lift Guyanese out of poverty if elected. And police will have to act on its own, says JAGDEO, as he skirts questions about the May Thomas investigation. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Friday, July 4 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. All eyes are now on the Guyana Elections Commission, now that Guyana's 12th Parliament and all regional democratic councils have been dissolved. More details in this report. By way of proclamation, Guyana's head of state, Ali, brought an end to parliamentary business and has paved the way for the September 1 general and regional elections. The proclamation was signed Thursday.
I have signed this afternoon Proclamation Number 1 of 2025, dissolving the 12th Parliament of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
Additionally, the proclamation will also dissolve the regional democratic councils in accordance with Article 73(2) of the Constitution.
I've also signed a proclamation dissolving the regional democratic councils. The proclamations also designate the 1st September 2025 as the date on which general and regional elections shall be held in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
As political parties prepare for nomination day on July 14, President Ali urged all Guyanese to participate fully in the elections process.
I urge all eligible Guyanese to participate in the upcoming elections, and in so doing, be part of this critical decision-making process of the state. The task of administering the forthcoming elections rests with the Guyana Elections Commission, and I remain confident in its ability to hold free, fair, and credible elections.
Once Parliament is dissolved, parliamentary business such as bills, motions, inquiries, and committee reports must come to an end. In addition, parliamentarians cease to be members of all standing, special, and joint committees. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. In setting the record straight regarding past members like German FIGUIERA, who attributed being sidelined as one of the main reasons for leaving the People's National Congress reform, the party's leader, AUBREY Norton, made it clear that once you have not put in the hard work, then you should not expect rewards. Antonio Day will tell you more.
On Friday, AUBREY Norton, leader of the People's National Congress reform, made it clear that German FIGUIERA's claim of being sidelined was disingenuous. He said, in principle, members who are active in the party and solely contribute to its development are rewarded. In this context, Mr. Norton is inferring that a member or person in the PNCR can have a position, but it is if he or she is getting much done.
Heavyweights are determined by our party based on, one, the work you do, and not solely the position you hold.
Although he held the portfolio as Shadow Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, the party leader said FIGUIERA was passive, not active.
And see what it suggests to you that he was a heavyweight performing credibly for the APNU. In fact, youth, sport and culture only became a focus after I removed FIGUIERA and placed Nima Flubes, and she is a heavyweight.
The PNCR leader said that you cannot be an executive member and not put in the work.
Heavyweight gets into the community, relate to people, do what has to be done. So far, none of the persons who would have departed can carry with them the support from the APNU.
FIGUIERA cited lack of visionary leadership and divisiveness as one of the reasons for leaving the party. However, Norton has maintained that every member in the party must add value. In the meantime, political heavyweights Nima Flubes and former Chief Citizen AUBREY are both included on the list of candidates for the partnership of national unity when asked by Nightly News, according to Norton. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. There is more news ahead. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
HGP Nightly News. With elections approaching, the Alliance for Change is placing education at its center of its campaign. Party leader Nigel Hughes says lifting Guyanese out of poverty begins with access to skills training and education tailored to the country's evolving economy. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
With Guyana currently recognized as one of the fastest growing economy in the world, AFC leader Nigel Hughes said, should his party win the September 1 general and regional elections, its number one priority will be education. He emphasized that education is the most effective way to lift majority of Guyanese out of poverty.
The economy for the next 15 to 20 years is going to be driven by oil and perhaps gas. And we're hoping that in the meantime, the non-oil economy continues to grow.
Hughes noted that gaining employment in the oil and gas sector requires individuals to be either skilled or semi-skilled. However, based on statistics from the Ministry of Education, 48% of students entering secondary school are not completing it.
Our first priority is to be able to set up institutions in each region which will capture these persons, train them for 10 to 12 months, certify them. We will train them in areas that are related to the Guyana economy, which would be essentially driven by oil and gas and construction. They get certified at the end of that period. While they're being trained, we're paying them so that they can sustain their families.
He explained that upon completion of the training, participants will either be placed in jobs in the oil and gas or construction industries.
Or if they decide to own their own businesses, we will give them the tools and the financial support, as well as financial management support, technical support, to run those businesses.
At the higher academic level, you said country's top-performing students will be sent to the best educational institutions around the world, where their tuition and boarding fully covered.
Because we have to make sure that we have the best that we produce trained, and hope that they come back. They don't have to be tied for 5 years, but they will come back.
For those in the middle, Hughes committed to increased funding for the University of Guyana, specifically for research in fields critical to national development. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Our developing story now. Is May Thomas getting a pat on the shoulder from the current regime for her alleged role in public corruption? Reporters have not been able to get an update on the May Thomas investigation for several months now. More details in this report. United States-sanctioned People's Progressive Party member May Thomas is seemingly getting a free pass by the People's Progressive Party civic government for her alleged involvement in the granting of gun licenses and the controversial award of contracts as cited by the U.S. Treasury Department's Office for Foreign Assets Control. On Thursday, her former immediate boss, Barra JAGDEO, said that he has stopped asking the Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Revenue Authority about staff at the two entities' alleged involvement in the May Thomas and Azruddin Mohammed's allegation. Mr. JAGDEO only focused on the presidential hopeful and kept May out of his mouth.
The goal issue will come up later. The police have to act on their own and so not to give us report, me as General Secretary of the PP or Vice President. I don't need any report on him or from the police or the GRA on this matter now. We deal with it subsequently.
The General Secretary said that after the elections, Mohammed will have to pay up what is allegedly owed. He again made no mention of May Thomas.
After the elections, he'd have to pay his taxes. And I believe that now that he is declared, we should not really personally we're the political opponents now. I don't want to be getting report from GRA and the police about him anymore on these matters.
Mr. JAGDEO said that he's tired of Azruddin Mohammed crying victimization because he's a candidate in the September 1 general and regional elections. But the issues surrounding Mohammed will not just go away, according to JAGDEO.
This guy's whole campaign is about he's a victim. He has nothing to offer the country except giving out a little money. And that money, when he has to pay his taxes, and trust me, he will have to pay the taxes. He may have to collect back money from people who is giving to pay the taxes because it's not going to go away.
OFAC said while being permanent secretary to Guyana's Minister of Home Affairs, Thomas allegedly used her position to offer benefits to Mohammed's enterprise and Azruddin, among others, in exchange for cash payments and high-value gifts. Thomas allegedly misused her position to influence the award of official contract bids and the approval processes for weapons, permits, and passports on behalf of Mohammed's enterprise. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Whatever your dream is, Republic Bank can help you make it happen. We'll make it happen. Let's help you get there with a Make It Happen loan.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
HGP Nightly News. We tell you now that President Irfan Ali is calling for global recognition of biodiversity as a key component of climate action. Speaking ahead of the Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit, the president highlighted Guyana's conservation success and urged the development of supportive market mechanisms to protect natural ecosystems.
President Irfan Ali, speaking ahead of the United for Biodiversity initiative on Friday, said that although the world has lost over 50% of its biodiversity over the past 5 decades, Guyana has successfully preserved the riches of its natural heritage. He emphasized that it is a time for the global community to take biodiversity issues seriously and adopt systems that recognize biodiversity as a critical component in a climate solution.
We must find policy mechanism. We must find market mechanism to support and safeguard our biodiversity here in Guyana and around the world.
The president said Guyana's approach to biodiversity aligns with the successes of the Low Carbon Development Strategy, LCDS, which presents a comprehensive model for achieving sustainable national development while contributing to global environmental goals.
It focuses on a strategy that positions Guyana as a leader on the issue of climate and environment, but more importantly, it creates a development strategy and a pathway that shows the rest of the world that we can achieve prosperity whilst at the same time safeguarding our environmental asset.
He however stressed the need for added policies that support sustainable systems, ones that generate wealth, enhance infrastructure, expand opportunities, and build resilience for the future.
Guyana has shown that we go beyond pledges. We create a product, we create a mechanism, we create a formula, and through the LCDS, the carbon credits, we have demonstrated how we can make this work.
President Ali said the outcome of the July summit will feed directly into the next major UN climate conference, COP, in Brazil, and Guyana will work with allies, including Brazil, to ensure biodiversity makes it to the top of the global agenda. Guyana will host the Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit from July 23 to July 25, 2025. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The $688 million Christchurch Secondary was commissioned on Thursday at its Camp and Middle Streets location after it was destroyed by a tragic fire a few years ago. Antonio Day has this report.
Head of State Irfan Ali, during his feature address on Thursday during the commissioning of the spanking new Christchurch Secondary, noted that to date, 20 new schools have been constructed and roughly 100 schools have been rehabilitated. President Ali noted that the new Christchurch Secondary is testament to his government's commitment towards promoting universal education.
Our target is clear: universal secondary education by the end of next year. That is not a slogan, it is a solemn commitment. And by the end of this year, we aim to have 100% of our teachers either trained or in training.
The Guyanese head of state also announced that CSEC and CAPE students who wrote their examinations this year will have full reimbursement for up to 8 subjects. Due to the low truancy rate in schools globally, President Ali noted that his government is working assiduously to promote inclusive and quality education here.
As of 2023, nearly 16.1% of school-aged children around the world, some 250 million young persons were out of school. Just take those numbers in for a moment. And that would allow us to appreciate what we're building here.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Priya Manichan acknowledged that the fire that flattened the school did not prevent students from acquiring academic excellence due to the stellar efforts by resilient teachers. The subject minister also disclosed that the current percentage of the nation's educators who have been trained to date under her administration.
In 2020, it was 73%. In 2025, it is 98.5% of your teachers standing in front of children in Georgetown who are trained or are in training.
The $688 million school boasts 20 classrooms to accommodate between 450 to 520 students and is furnished with science, TVET, electrical woodworking, and information technology laboratories. Antonio Deer reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
These nice products I spoke with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and these things. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow. Yeah, put the things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppies.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
Good evening and welcome to Friday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio Day. We begin with some news in Trinidad and Tobago. Contractor Stephen Samuel has taken legal action against a company, urging a pre-action protocol letter dated July 3rd to address CPEP's CEO, Keith Eddy, to rescind his termination letter from June 27, 2025 by 3 p.m. on Thursday. This is the first pre-action protocol letter arising out of the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program's action in firing 300 contractors and, by extension, the placing of 10,000 workers on the breadline. In the letter, O'Neill said, and I quote, "As a result of the actions of you and your company, our client and the affected workers have and continue to suffer loss and damage," unquote. With some news in the Latin Americas, Bolivia's energy minister was doused with water and pelted with garbage on Thursday as chaos erupted in Congress during a debate on controversial lithium contracts with Chinese and Russian firms that could bring in investments worth some $2 billion. It was the latest outburst of the growing tension over Bolivia's efforts to fast-track foreign investment to exploit its lithium reserves, which are among the largest globally. Opposition lawmakers and loyalists of former President Evo Morales disrupted the lower house session that targeted Energy Minister Alejandro Gallardo as he tried to defend the pending contracts. And I quote, "They are trying to swindle us," said the opposition lawmaker. Daniel Rojas, one of those opposing the contracts, they say are unfavorable to the state and demanding that profits for Bolivia be secured before the lithium is sold. Thursday's session dissolved into scuffles, with lawmakers pushing shouting and throwing stacks of paper at congressional leaders. Video images showed an opposition lawmaker, Maria Salazar, tussling with another member, while a lawmaker later tore away an umbrella from the chamber leader, using it to try to bat away the barrage. Legislators and civic leaders from the mineral-rich Potosi region, home to Bolivia's vast lithium deposits, joined the protests. And finally, with some international news, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday it would probably be known in 24 hours when the Palestinian militant group Hamas has agreed to accept what he has called, quote-unquote, a final proposal for an Israel-Hamas ceasefire in Gaza. According to Trump, he had spoken to Saudi Arabia about expanding the Abraham Accords, the deal on normalization of ties that his administration negotiated between Israel and some Gulf countries during his first term. Trump said on Tuesday, Israel had accepted the conditions needed to finalize a 60-day ceasefire with Hamas, during which the parties will work to end the war. He was asked on Friday if Hamas had agreed to this latest ceasefire deal framework and said, "We will see what happens. We are going to know over the next 24 hours. Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Do have a safe weekend.
Parliament RDC'S dissolved. All eyes now on GECOM. FIGUIERA did little for the benefit of the PNCR, says Aubrey Norton. AFC pledges education reform to lift Guyanese out of poverty if elected. And police will have to act on its own, says General Secretary JAGDEO as he skirts questions about the May Thomas investigation. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.